Welcome to Second Chance Garage. Okay, there's my Silverado, the one that didn't have taillights. Okay, long story short, I fixed the taillights, 3.5 hours. Got it done. Drove it in a blinding snowstorm, which we got a foot of snow. Got off work, tried to start it, wouldn't start. Battery's dead. Jump started it, drove it home, everything was fine. Parked it in front of that roll door, had it running, slid the door open, and the fuel pump went out. So, currently, I am doing something that nobody else should ever do. I had to take the box loose, and there is the fuel pump. Yes, I ground. Okay, first I took a guess of where it was, and that wasn't right. Obviously, I got to take a notch out of here and out of here to make a square. Then I'll push this back down in place and weld it back in place. She's an old beater. See, she got rot holes in the floor right there, all the way across that support. It's about half rotted out. So that gets me down to my fuel pump. Now they say that you're supposed to take those lines loose there's a little canister under there they want you to take them loose from. Why, I am not sure. And then they had these two wires right there. One was plugged into there and one was plugged into the other one, and they've got different plug-ins, so you can't mix them up. Yep, white into white, black into black. So anyway, now I have to try to squeeze those together and take the fuel lines loose. But I had issues with my car and so I didn't get out here till about 2:30 or so, because let's see, the car wouldn't start this morning. So I had one of those little jumper boxes, and I loved it. Well, it's got a short in it now, so it didn't work. So then I had to put it on the charger. So I put the car on the charger at 75 amp boost for about 45 minutes, got it running, had to go get a battery for it, got home, had to switch out the batteries, the battery terminals, my own fault. The battery was a little wider than the other battery, and I thought that they mounted in the front. Well, they didn't. They mounted in the back. It's on an 03 Honda Civic. So therefore, the positive and the negative was on the wrong side. So I had to take a bunch of straps loose that was holding the positive and negative down, so I'd have more slack in the cable so I could turn the battery around and then put it back in there. Yeah, it was quite an interesting deal. So anyway, that pretty much took all day, just trying to get the car running, take it to Morton, get the battery. Now I've got to do a battery exchange Monday after work, but at least I got the car done. And then I came out here about 2:30 and started jacking with this. And the last video I was telling you about the diesel heater. It started at 21 degrees this time. It wouldn't start any sooner than that. Had to get up to 21. Usually after 4 or 5 tries at 18 it'll usually start, but today it was abnormally cold, so it got up to 21. I was using a wood burning stove and a couple little electric heaters, got it up to 21, and then that's when she fired up, and she's been running ever since. I've been running it for, well, before I ran this battery dead, because it runs off AC, DC power, it ran for 4.5 hours. And then I would say that tank, completely full and completely empty, I was out here 10 hours one day, 6 hours another day, and I would say, I don't know what time it is now, but I would say I got a good 6 hours on it, and I still got that much fuel left, that much fuel left in the bottom of it. So anyway, that's the battery that was out of the car. So since it was charged, since I drove it back and forth to Morton, I went ahead and threw that one on, since the one I had on the charger couldn't keep up. And it lasted 4.5 hours. That's pretty good. Now, the messed up part about that is that battery is always on a maintainer, and I had it on for 10.5 hours, and it didn't drain that battery. For some reason, this time it did. So, just my luck, I guess. So anyway, thought I would show you the latest episode. So if you like it, subscribe. And the taillights are working. They work great. And like I said, I had to do a bunch of rewiring. It took me about 3.5 hours to do all that. So anyway, yeah, here's the... Yeah, I guessed. I didn't guess very good, because... But that's what you got a MIG welder for. Yeah. And then this, I'm going to notch this out, then I'll just bend this over, tack weld this back in place, and then where the notch is, I'll just take a piece of steel, lay over the top of it, and run self-tapping screws into the bed, so I got access to it. I don't know how long I'll have the truck, but you never know. Hopefully another couple years and I won't have to replace it again, but if I do, I'll have access to it. So anyway, if you like it, subscribe. This is Uncle Russ, Second Chance Garage, out.